I've just got something about an African country. To me, it's poor. There's nothing there. There's nothing for me to see. I'm not really interested. I always class myself as English. My parents are Caribbean. They're not African Caribbean, they're Caribbean. Actually, I've come to a black country for the first time. But the only thing that I didn't like, and I still don't like, and I don't know why I don't like it, is an African accent. It's just, the guy could look absolutely fantastic, but as soon as he opens his mouth and he hears that, it just shuts down completely.
Yo people, these are the views of people in our community that we need to have these discussions. So since coming back to the UK, I felt, you know what, it's about time I share this video with everybody. And whilst we continue to learn and actually have the privilege to know that there are people within our community who never identify themselves, even as black people and all that, please, let's be respectful. Let's understand their journeys and possibly why they possibly felt that way. And let's look at where they ended up.
Do you think people are actually waiting to hear of your experience because of who they've known Auntie Christy to be?
Yeah.
What do you think
Yeah.
is likely to say?
I'm going to tell them.
60 years plus and never wanted to have anything to do with Africa. Let's see what happens. Enjoy the video. Remember to subscribe and share with somebody and tell us what you really did enjoy. Anyway, enjoy and be part of this family. Boom.
Yeah, am I okay to call you Black African?
Yeah.
Or Black Caribbean?
Black Caribbean.
Okay. So this is somebody, one of us, and this is her honest truth, because you felt you had nothing to do with the motherland.
No.
Guys, immediately after speaking to Marvin, I said to Christine, based on the little conversation that we had, I really wanted to hear her story. Yeah. And Christine, you are saying you have come to Gambia not just Gambia, you have come to Africa for the first time.
Yes. Actually, I've come to a black country for the first time. But this is one place I will come back to. I go to Europe, I go to America, and that's it.
Why?
Because I don't know, I've just got something about an African country. To me, it's poor. There's nothing there. There's nothing for me to see. I'm not really interested. Whereas America is a big open wide place, there's a lot of stuff to do. Europe is English speaking, I'm quite happy there. But this was just a spur of the moment. I just went in to pay for a previous holiday, asked them where else they've got. They showed me a list of, yeah, Gambia, I'll go there. And that was it.
Guys, I will be very honest. If people may be thinking, Christine, is some kind of, yeah, am I okay to call you Black African?
Yeah.
Or Black Caribbean?
Black Caribbean.
Okay. So this is somebody, one of us, and this is her honest truth, because you felt you had nothing to do with the motherland.
No.
What gave you that impression or that viewpoint?
Because I always class myself as English. My parents are Caribbean. They're not African Caribbean, they're Caribbean. And so when people say, yeah, but you all come from Africa, I thought, well, no, we don't. We don't all come from Africa. Because I'm sure there was black people in the Caribbean before the Africans came over. And so I've always seen it as two completely different cultures, separate from each other, had nothing to do with each other. So one is the Caribbean and one is an African, but they're not joint.
Okay.
And there's no history with them, even though I did go on the Kunta Kinte, the island, and just listen to them. And it was interesting what they had to say, but however, all I can think and all I can see is the film roots. Because it's like they were using the same thing that happened in the film and the same language they were speaking and the same things that happened to Kunta Kinte in the film, but I couldn't see it as a real person. and this is what happened to the real person from this country, from this island, from this town. I just keep seeing Lamar Burton is Kunta Kinte, and he used to be Star Trek. But even now, when I'm thinking back, when the guy was talking about it, it was really interesting, and you can feel the emotion that he was saying. But I still couldn't link it to the real thing. I'm still seeing the movie.
So which one do you think is likely to be the case, i.e. a group or a community of people telling a story which coincides with a movie which is much younger than the community it came from, or rather the group of people who are living here or who are continuing to live here have adapted or now told their story to suit the Kunta Kinte film, so that they have some kind of relevance? Where do you think, who is likely to lean on the other?
I think I went on the trip on the Wednesday, and I met somebody here on the Thursday. And so I went out with him, and he showed me the real country, not the touristy bit. And he was then talking about Kunta Kinte and everything else. And for some reason, because he wasn't a tour guide, and everything just flowed with the tour guides, this is what they do on every time they go out. Because he was different, he was to me a real person, and then it sunk in from his point of view and not from the tour guide's point of view. Yeah.
So tour guide more or less seemed like a rehearsed piece.
Yes.
That had to be put across.
Yeah. And you know that once he's dropped you off, he's picking up another group of people saying the same thing. Whereas this guy is a real person. To me, it was a real person, nothing to do with the tourist industry, just a real person. He saw that I was on my own, and he took me out.
Christine, in terms of maybe life experiences, maybe I'll say age bracket. My mom will always say to me, don't try and guess a lady's age. Yeah, I think life has been fair to you. You definitely hit 50 and above.
Yeah.
What kept you away from Africa for all those years? Until the recent, where you're not actually coming by, you didn't come with a group, you came by yourself.
By myself, yeah.
How are you?
I don't know. I think it's since the kids have been off my hands that I've found that I've now got what I call me time to be selfish and do what I want to do. And for the last couple of years, I started travelling, and I don't know, something just told me to come here rather than. I think if it was Ghana or Gambia, those two countries to me are more English, so I would have felt comfortable there rather than saying that I'm going to Nigeria or Kenya or one of those other countries. Yeah, but from growing up, I don't know. I don't know if it's. I think when I was in school, I didn't see colour until I was about 7 or 8, and it was me and this, she was my friend, so she didn't have a colour, and the bell went and we ran into the class and we put our hands on the post, and she put her hand on top of mine, and I looked at it and I thought, but she's white. And that was the first time I saw colour. And then I started looking around, and then I could hear the accents and the people talking, and it's like my eyes opened. And the only thing that I didn't like, and I still don't like, and I don't know why I don't like it, is an African accent. It's just, the guy could look absolutely fantastic, but as soon as he opens his mouth and he hears that, it just shuts down completely. And I don't know why. I don't know why. It's not like I've had any interaction with them and something happened and it's, I'm thinking about it. Nothing. I know.
How do you manage with maybe Caribbean accent?
I don't really. The Caribbean accent is, I think it's because my parents are from there, and my aunties, my uncles, my nan. So I've been brought up with that accent, but not with an African accent. And then I'm born in Britain, I've always lived there, so the English was always there. but I don't. There's just something about an African accent. It just puts my back up, and there's just no emotion there. There's just nothing. I don't entertain it. They want to say hi, yeah, and I've gone. But anybody else that's talking, they want to say hi. I automatically, from when it's an English person, I automatically turn around and I stop and chat.
Okay.
But if they had said hi with an accent, I'm not even looking back. My hands are raised.
Since you've been here, because obviously it's going to be the same accent.
I know.
To you.
But it's almost as though, I don't know. It's like you don't hear the accents.
You see people.
I see people. And it's not the what I viewed as an African country whereby it's a beggy country. Have you got? Can you borrow? Can I have? Nothing like that. Absolutely nothing like that.
Somebody like Auntie Christy is now, has had a first experience of Africa, and if that has been your experience where you've never wanted to identify yourself as even Black, African, Caribbean, whatever, let us know. I will be more than happy to come and meet such a person. Let's tell her story, because there are a lot of people who wants to hear about that transition. And even if you continue to hold that view, please let us know, and I'll be more than happy. Guys, I will continue to do all that you do acts of the channel to continue to bring stories about us as a people to inspire you and I. So as I continue to do that, why don't you also subscribe to the channel if you haven't? We've definitely done our very best. We're 10% out of the total number of people who watches the channel have already subscribed or or continue to subscribe.
So if somebody had told you, Christine, X amount of years to come, you will be sat in an African country, listening to different accents, feeling like you are having the best time of your life.
Yeah.
What would you have said to that?
I'd have said to them, they're a liar. There is absolutely no way. Even my family wants to say, where are you off to? I'm going to Gambia. Yeah, right. Of course you are. Because no, look, I've got my ticket. I'm going to the Gambia. Oh, Auntie Christine's going to the Gambia. Auntie Christine's going to African country. Yeah, good on you. That's what they said. Good on you.
Do you think people are actually waiting to hear of your experience because of who they've known Auntie Christine to be?
Yeah.
What do you think is likely to say?
I'm going to tell them it's nothing what I expected, and I will go back. Usually they will say, would you go back? No, I've seen it. I don't need to go back there. But this is one place I will come back to. Here and Thailand are the only two places that I've been to, and I thought, I would go back.
You would?
Yeah.
Tell me why.
I think it's the people. They're just so open and honest and genuine. There's no undertone. There's no deviousness with them. What you see is what you get. Yeah.
I would definitely recommend, Ghana for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe people will say it out there, no, stop being biased because you're Ghanaian. I would definitely recommend Ghana for you, because for me, coming to Gambia, I always think, interestingly, I just went out there and interviewed a guy who is he's a Gambian, so much support the Ghanaian national team. Things that they are the best.
Yeah.
And you are celebrating Black Stars.
Black Star, even now, when Gambia is playing Ghana, I support Ghana.
Why?
Why? Because I never see Gambians are playing. My first to support the football, I see Ghana Black Star.
And I think the reason why I would recommend Ghana for you is Ghana is like the bigger brother of Gambia, and I don't mean anything of that nature in disrespect, but it feels like the experiences that Ghanaians have had in welcoming tourists and all that. Yes, Gambia definitely does it, but it feels like it's been very common to the average, Guys, let me know what you think, because I don't want the situation where Gambians will come for me to say, Nana is trying to fool all the people come to Gambia, to come to Ghana. But I would definitely recommend not just Gambia, but for us to be able to, experience the different places. I've been to Kenya.
Yeah.
And I had the best time of my life, you know. And people will say, oh yeah, I did a safari. It's not just about safaris.
No.
It's other people.
Yeah.
You know, this morning I had something on the breakfast table and they call it akara. Okay. Interestingly, it's the same word, akara, in Ghana. Okay. There's something that they call what? Pancake.
Yeah.
So that's what they call pancake. In my language, in the same thing, we call it buffalo. It's like puff puff in the Caribbean. You know, like fritters.
Yeah.
You know, so these are the similarities that definitely drives me for me to say we are one people.
Yeah.
You know, but definitely being split apart. Auntie Christine, let me definitely try to round this whole interview up. How has been your experience? You know, if anybody is saying to you, why are you looking to go back? What has been the experience so far, and what do you hope to be able to achieve if you are coming back again?
It's been a very, very positive experience, and as a woman travelling alone, I was minded that don't go out the hotel certain time, don't walk on the beach certain time, don't be alone, make sure you've got a guide with you. And that hasn't happened. I've walked out here at night time, I've walked up the road, people talk to you, said, do you want a lift into the town? I said, yeah, come. If I was at home and somebody said, do you want a lift? I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And this is a foreign country whereby I should have been more on my guard here than at home, but I didn't feel the need to. I didn't feel the need to be on my guard.
So whilst things may happen, and I definitely have to say that, things happen everywhere. But for me, what I am so worried about is those who have the bigger voices. And especially when it seems to be coming from us,
Yeah.
people tend to want to believe to say that that's a black person saying it's not safe. And for me, what I definitely say to people is come here and experience things
Yes.
for yourself. Yeah? Come and experience things for yourself. If I myself have been Gambia as a solo traveler, Auntie Christine has been here as a solo traveler, there are other people who are here by themselves.
Yeah.
But the reality is, nothing is happening to us. I'm not by any means suggesting, you know, we would want anything to happen to anybody, but let's be careful with that kind of negative energy and vibe that we push across.
Yes.
What would you say to any family out there, especially of black, you know, decent, who may ever be thinking, Africa is not for me, Caribbean is not for me? What would you be saying that as your final word to end the day?
You need to come and experience it for yourself. I was just like you. Africa, the Caribbean is not for me. But I came out of my comfort zone. I've come to African country and it's been amazing. It's only been a week, but it's been an amazing week. And I would do it again.
It's an honor, guys. I told you, by any means, I will do my very best. Yes, we couldn't get Auntie Christine to be on camera. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is the content, is the words. And if you haven't got anything from this interview, then maybe you are not ready. But if you are ready to make that step, Africa is open arms, wanting to embrace all of us. And I shall always say, if we don't make that step, by the time we come, we will be coming to rent on our own land. Wise, a word to the wise. It's up here.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we come, we take our spaces with our brothers running the system, and make sure we support in building our continent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's an honor. Did you handshakes?
Yes.
Thank you very much for pushing you out of your comfort zone.
I know.
Yeah.